Hello everyone, my name is Engineer Gerson Gonsalvo. Today I'm presenting a review of the paper License to Kill: Artificial Intelligence in Weapon Systems and New Challenges for Arms Control by Dr. Gabriel Ritmir, published in 2020 by the Friedrich Naumann Foundation. I have updated this review with real events from 2020 through 2026. The core thesis is that lethal autonomous weapon systems, or what we call LAWS, represents the third revolution in warfare after gunpowder and the atomic bomb. The paper demands a global ban, insists on meaningful human control, and warns of flash wars and a dangerous responsibility gap. As we'll see, many of those warnings have already become reality. The first part is the opening reflection. In my own words, the main idea is simple: killer robots that can select and engage targets without human intervention. They lower the threshold for war, create accountability black holes, and risk automatic escalation. What caught my attention most is the responsibility gap. If an AI kills the wrong person, who is legally responsible? Is it the general? Is it the programmer? No one. The question is still unanswered today. As an engineering student, this topic matters because the same feedback loops and control systems we design for autonomous cars or factories become matters of life and death when applied to weapons. Now, we proceed with the understanding of the system. If we interpret laws as an engineering system, the inputs are sensor data: radar, infrared, GPS, intelligence feeds. The process is the five-step targeting cycle: find, fix, track, select, and engage. The output is weapons fire and battle damage assessment. The next question is this a linear system? No, it is a hybrid and strongly nonlinear system. Small noise in the input can cause catastrophic decisions. Swarms show emergent behavior, and machine learning makes the system adaptive and unpredictable. So where is the feedback? The feedback is the human in the loop, AI decision loops, and battlefield sensors. The danger is when humans move from in the loop to off the loop. Next, we proceed with the stability, control, and system behavior. In this context, stability doesn't mean reaching equilibrium. It means preventing uncontrolled escalation and unintended engagements. It means avoiding what the paper calls flash wars. Does more autonomy make the system more stable? No, it makes it less stable. A false sensor reading could trigger an autonomous strike before any human can verify it. And when your own soldiers aren't at risk, the political cost of war drops dramatically. Using control theory concept, I, as an engineer, would ensure safety by keeping humans in the loop for the select and engage phases. By defining safety invariants like no-go zones and by adding mandatory time delays and hardware kill switches. Now we proceed with the AI role and learning systems. AI in these systems performs target classification, threat prediction, swarm coordination, and increasingly the final engagement decision. We're moving from a narrow AI to learning systems that adapt in real time. Unlike traditional linear systems, learning systems are not deterministic. They evolve with data, they can amplify bias, and they cannot be fully verified. This is epistemic uncertainty. Here are two numbers from 2026. A King College study found that AI choose nuclear escalation in 95% of simulated conflicts, 20 out of 21 runs. And the autonomous military weapons market is now $19.8 billion, growing at over 10% per year. So AI brings efficiency, but also new uncertainties. Hacking, bias, and proliferations to terrorist groups. The real danger, as one expert in the paper says, is that the arms race forces countries to deploy insecure AI systems too early. Next, we proceed with the signals, risk, and robustness. The systems relies on video, radar, infrared, facial recognition, and intercepted communication. Data is transformed into decisions through pattern recognitions and rules engagement. The critical step is moving from track to select, deciding that a detected object is a hostile combatant, not a civilian. If the input data is noisy, biased, or manipulated, the system can misidentify targets. The paper notes that Houthi rebels, ISIS, and Boko Haram already uses combat drones, and AI bias can amplify these errors. The biggest risk, such as flash wars, proliferations, because laws that don't require rare materials like nuclear weapons, the responsibility gap, and the integration of AI into nuclear command systems. The US AI Guardrails Act of 2026 now prohibits AI from launching nuclear weapons, a direct response to this risk. So to make system robust, we need redundant sensors, formal verifications, tamper-proof logging, and adversarial testing, and a safeguards mandatory human approval for engagement, geofencing, and automatic disengagement when confidence is low. Now we proceed with the ethics and human control. The ethical question is start, should the machine decide who lives and who dies? The paper argues that delegating life and death decision to an algorithm violates human dignity. It's a red line we should never cross. I agree with that. Humans must always remain in the loop for lethal decision. So who is responsible when an AI makes a wrong decision? The paper says this is unresolved. My view is that the state and commanders must be accountable, but only if the system preserves meaningful human control. If the human had no real ability to intervene, you can't hold them responsible. How can control theory help ethics? By encoding ethical rules as invariant sets, the system can never leave those safe states. By using supervisory control to make human override technically impossible to bypass, and by formally verifying constraint like never engage a civilian target. So in 2026, we've seen engineers take a stand. Anthropic refused to provide AI for fully autonomous weapons, and the Pentagon cut ties with that. The US AI Guardrails Act also forbids AI-controlled nuclear launch. These are positive steps, but they're not enough. Now let's proceed with the critical thinking. Okay, looking back from 2026, the paper's trends are clear. It correctly predicted flash wars, the responsibility gap, and the need for meaningful human control. Russia's B-2U kamikaze drone deployed in early 2026 autonomously targets civilians infrastructure. Exactly the scenario the paper warned about. But the paper also has limitations. It underestimated the speed of deployment. Autonomous weapons are already fighting in Ukraine, Gaza, and the Red Sea. The call for a global ban has failed. The US and Russia oppose a new treaty, and the UN's 2026 deadline for legally binding instrument will realistically be missed. The paper also didn't anticipate the intense corporate military conflict we see today. In February 2026, Anthropic refuses Pentagon contracts for autonomous weapons, and US government designated them a supply chain risk. As a system designer, I would add hardware level kill switches that can be remotely verified, mandatory black box audit trails for every autonomous engagement. And technically, limits on how many lethal drones a single human can supervise. Now we proceed with the next slide, linear system theory and future. How can linear system theory help? In three ways. First, formal verification of safety envelopes, using control theory to prove that AI cannot violate certain constraints. Second, stability analysis of escalation dynamics, treating conflicts as a dynamical systems and finding the margins that prevent cascading failure. And third, supervisory control to design human override that cannot be bypassed by software. What does the future hold? Experts now predict full spectrum autonomous of 2027 or 2028. Drone swarms will dominate China's Atlas system. Already lets one command vehicle control 96 drones. We face a single operator nightmare, one person controlling hundreds of autonomous weapons with no meaningful accountability. How should engineers prepare? Learn formal verification and safety critical AI. Okay, engage with arm control verification, design system that can be inspected without revealing classified code, and always ask, can we build it? Is separate from, should we build it? Okay. For the conclusion of this paper, my biggest takeaway from this paper is that the core problems is not technical, it's accountability. We cannot engineer our way out of responsibility once we remove humans from the decision loop. This paper changed my perspective. Autonomy for efficiency becomes dangerous when life and death are at stake. The same AI techniques I study for autonomous vehicle could, in a different context, become weapons. So here is my final message in one sentence. The most critical control problem for autonomous weapons isn't stabilizing the guidance loop. It's keeping humans meaningfully in the decision loop. Okay, because once we engineer ourselves out of accountability, we cannot engineer our way back in. Thank you for watching. I'm happy to take any question, comment down below.